Skip, this was a Bush League play. This was a dirty play. This was a dirty play. The safety had an opportunity to make a play. He didn't have to hit him high. So, well, I don't want to get him. I don't want to hit him in the head because I'll get fined. And Skip, this is Bush League. You tell me, Skip, did you know I was an all-area defensive back in high school?
I did not know.
I
know that.
I was an all-area defensive back and an all-state tight end. Good, had skills, Skip.
And you averaged 7.7 tackles per game.
I don't know. Used to call you boy the hit man. Okay. But anyway, Skip, you tell me the defensive drill. I want a defensive coach or the defensive or the defensive coordinator that shows me the tackling drill where he has the DB to get on one knee, aim for a guy's knee, and hit him in the knee with his forearm and shoulder. Can you tell me the drill, Skip? I played a long time. That was dirty. Skip, I'm not saying he's
I think every drill would teach that.
No.
Yes.
There's no drills that you get on one knee, aim for a guy's knee, and try to bring him down. Skip, he had plenty of time. I'm not saying he's dirty because there's not enough body of work, but that was a dirty play. That was a Bush League play. And in football, Skip, we try to go out, at least I did. If there was a play I could make without injuring the guy or attempting to injure him, those were the plays I made. Skip, you're playing not a contact sport. Football, at its highest form, professional, is a collision sport. You're asking big men to run into bigger men at a high rate of speed. Some things are unavoidable. But if you can avoid a dangerous play, you should avoid that play at all costs. Skip, this was Bush League. This was a dirty play. Nobody can convince me otherwise through my 14 years of playing it and watching it basically all my life. This was a Bush League play. This was a dirty play. I'm glad he's okay. But in saying all that, that still had nothing to do with the way they performed offensively last night either.
We'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to convince you this was not a dirty play.
Okay.
In fact, it's as far from a dirty play as you can get. And for the record, Jerry Austin, who now works as an ex-referee in the ESPN Monday Night booth, had no problem with the hit. John Gruden, obviously, works in the booth, had zero problem with the hit.
They're looking at it legally. I'm not saying nothing about legally. Was it a legal play? Yes, it was legal. Dirty and legal are two different things.
Okay, Ben McAdoo had no problem with it.
It wasn't his knee.
Well, it's his star. It's the guy who wants to be paid the most of any player in the National Football League. That's how great this kid is. But the story on ESPN.com that's currently running is why the hit on Beckham was perfectly legal, and I'm with it perfectly legal because all I've heard about over the last, say, 3 NFL seasons is C, T, E, and concussions. Is that not all we hear about?
Yes.
Do we not talk about it every other day on this show? So the new mantra for defensive players is, when in doubt, go lower, right? Because Odell was the classic defenseless receiver. He's going up for the ball, so he's starting to catch the ball, and he has not obviously secured the ball and started to make a football play, started to run with the ball. So he's defenseless, but that's only if he gets hit in the neck or up in the head region, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so now we're back to, what do you want, Mr. Sharpe? Do you want flag football? Do you want two-hand touch football? I don't know. What do you want the DB to do? He can't anticipate exactly how Odell's going to come down because Odell's pretty dangerous, wouldn't you say? Didn't he beat my Cowboys slipping by Barry Church and company, and he was gone to the house, right? It was 10-7, right?
I guess he didn't get taken to church.
He didn't on that one. Barry Church, now in Jacksonville. How are you, Barry? But the point is that he can break away. He can take it the distance. So you have to go up and secure him as best you can. Well, you can't hit him in the head, and anything sort of quasi-high is probably going to draw a flag, especially on poor little Odell.
What about his waist?
Well, how can you it's a split-second timing play. You just go low. The whole idea is go low, 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 low. And again, I thought early on, and we used to talk about this on the old show with my friend Ryan Clark, is there going to be a new spate of knee injuries because of defensive backs being taught to go lower, lower, lower? Well, there hasn't been. The stats show you there hasn't been more knee injuries since the defenseless player rules came in and you can't target up high, right? So I don't know what else you can teach. Here's a guy who's a second-year player out of Minnesota, undrafted. He's just trying to get Odell down. What's the best way to get him down, quote unquote, legally? just get him around the ankles, hit him low, take his feet out from under him. And unfortunately for Odell, he came down on one leg, which was planted briefly, but then his shoes sort of came out from under, or we might be having a different conversation, because I thought early on what was in jeopardy the most was the knee. And then we started hearing right away, it's the ankle, which I couldn't really understand because it looked like a potential classic knee injury.
Well, I had a very similar situation happen to me in Super Bowl 33, Skip. I caught a slant pass on one side, and Ed McCaffrey was on the other side, and DB slid off him. Ray Buchanan slid off him, and as I'm turning up, because the safety hit me in the chest, I bounced off him, cut past the linebacker, and here come Ray Buchanan and slices me. Skip, legal and dirty are two different things. Something can be legal and be dirty in Bush League. I believe, having played this game as long as I have studied and covered this game as long as I have, he could have made the exact same, he could have gotten Odell on the ground by wrapping him up. He was there in plenty of time. Skip, he starts going down at the angle at Odell's knee 3 steps into it. He could have just ran right through Odell, grabbed him around his waist, and thrown him down. See, Jerry Austin says legally. John Gruden said legally. Okay, let me ask you a question. The hit that Warren Sapp put on Chad Clifton was perfectly legal. But what did everybody say, Skip?
Okay, but that's the. But what? No, don't give me that.
Okay,
that was the spirit of it. It's a broken. Was it not a broken play?
No.
Was it not? It was.
No.
It was an interception.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. It's a broken play. It's a what do you call it? A sudden change.
Can I ask you a question?
Sudden change.
Could Chad Clifton have made the play?
Does Chad Clifton, for a living, tackle people?
Oh, Skip,
Nope,
I just
he doesn't.
asked
All
you.
of a sudden, he was turned into a defender.
Skip.
He doesn't do that. Running downfield after somebody.
That's what happens when somebody has the ball.
Okay, that's
and you play-
spirit.
Oh, that's my point. The spirit. Thank you.
Within the rules, it allowed Warren Sapp to headhunt. And that's what he did. He headhunted Chad
Was
Clifton.
the play legal? Yes or no? Was the spirit of
but Warren Sapp had a moment to draw a bead and make a choice, a conscious choice of, I think I'm going to go cheap shot him. Okay?
Oh, so the safety here.
This is bang bang. You got to
It wasn't
decide
bang,
where
bang.
you're going to hit him. Where are you going to hit him? How are you going to take him down? Again, the new mantra is, when in doubt, go lower. Lower. What do you want?
And Sapp was taught since the very first day, anybody can make a tackle once your defensive guy has the ball running.
But that's a whole different issue.
How?
That's a spirit of the rules issue.
Okay, this is the spirit of the rule issue.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
This is the rule. This is what you want to do.
No, it's not.
Protect the head at all costs. No more CTE. Am I right?
Skip.
Go low. Go for the ankle.
Skip,
He hit him at the ankles. I don't know what else you could ask for.
Skip, the only reason he hit him, he aimed for his knee, Skip. You see the guy put his forearm. You got to go, Skip. You got to try. If I guarantee you, if I'm running, you can't hit me in my knee or my ankle. You have to aim where you think I'm going to be. And you look at him. Look at him. He's looking at the guy. He's on one knee.
It's
Nobody
drilled. It's drilled into the DBs. You have to go low, right?
Skip,
So how can you teach? You're against the most dangerous receiver in pro football, and you say at the last second, this is split-second decision making. Let's see. I think I'm going to, wait, let me try to wrap him up around the right waist. But what if he catches the ball and comes down and slouches and you hit him up into the shoulder pads and neck area by accident?
Skip.
It's bang, bang.
It's not
You have to go low.
It's
It's a
not-
legal play in a dangerous game.
Okay, so Sapp play was legal. It was a legal play in a dangerous game.
That was premeditated, where you have time to make a choice. He did not have time.
So in other words, you're saying Warren Sapp woke up that morning saying, if my defensive guy intercepts the ball, I am going to go headhunt one said Chad Clifton. Is that what you mean by premeditation?
Warren Sapp had a high football IQ, and he knew as soon as the play shifted and all of a sudden he became the offensive player, which is rare, it doesn't happen very often, that he was able to process quickly, I got a chance here to clean somebody's clock, and I'm going to get that guy I'm across from, Chad Clifton. I'm going to go, I'm going to hit him, I'm going to blindside him and cold cock
Sapp
him.
was trying to get him. Sapp was trying to get, because it's a big thing. the way Sapp and the Tampa defense and the Seahawks and the Broncos defense and the Ravens function, you get credit. It's merits. You trying to turn turnovers into points. We're not going to try and set you up with good field position. We're going to do the dirty work. We took the ball away. We're going into the end zone. Sapp play was legal. So if you're going to say Sapp play was legal, but
it's like hitting a kicker on a punt return or
is he on the football
punter
field?
or
is he on the football field?
Okay, all right.
He got a helmet shoulder pad?
All right, that's
he
fine.
collect a check?
Okay, then that's fine. Okay, I'm not going to scream about it on Warren Sapp's part.
You weren't. You just about your spirit.
This play's going to happen 1,000 times in the regular season, and it's never going to get flagged because it's the only way to protect the head, and that's all anybody cares about.
I guarantee you, other than his teammates, you poll every other DB, you poll every other wide receiver, and you ask them, was this a Bush League or dirty play?
All right, let's poll every DB, and they'll say no, no, no. Now, maybe his teammates will.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just said that's what I said. His teammates.
Oh, okay.
Teammates are always
they're
going to
protect each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, and receivers are always going to protect receivers, and you're a receiver.
But ask the DBs or just ask DBs from other teams. What did Landon Collins say?
He's on his. Isn't he a Giant?
Okay.
Isn't he a friend of Odell's?
Okay.
Sure, he's going to say that.
No.
Yeah. What did the rest of the Browns DB say? It's the way we're taught. Huh?
Well, that explains why they don't do a good job tackling. That's why the defense is bad then. Because if they're taught to tackle like that, yes, absolutely, 1,000%.
Well, I know what he would have liked to have done is just hit him up high and knock him down.
Yeah, I would like to see him grab him around his waist and throw him down. I believe that he took 3-4 steps, aiming for his knee when he could have took those same amount of steps and put his shoulder pads or his helmet in Odell's back. That's what I believe. I believe this was Bush League. I believe it was dirty. I believe it could have been avoided. And if you can avoid an injury, or let me put it like this, if you can avoid causing an injury, sometimes injuries are unavoidable because you got men playing at a high rate of speed colliding. Sometimes they're unavoidable. But when an injury can be avoided, you should try to avoid it at all costs.
And I think you're just being overprotective of Odell Beckham Jr. because you picked the Giants to win the NFC and get to the Super Bowl, and so you were afraid that your man was going down. And I thought for a moment, boy, that looks pretty scary what just happened. So what did Odell do? Let's go through the process here. He gets up and he starts to jog, and I think, he's fine. But then he gets to the sideline and he starts to, he's a little gimpy.
Spins his
he's
helmet
a little
first.
gimpy.
He laid down
I know,
first.
he threw his helmet.
Yep.
I thought that was a penalty, but I guess they're going to let him get away with that one.
He was hurt.
He was hurt. Then he glares over at the Browns.
Yeah, okay, why would he do that, Skip?
I know, yeah, because he's scared.
Oh,
and then what happens? Wait a minute. It's like somebody who gets rear-ended in a car crash, and all of a sudden they're going, ooh, my neck.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, I know you do, yeah. Oh, my neck hurts. Oh, my neck hurts. And Odell's saying, oh, wait a minute. My leg's a little gimpy here. But then he runs off, and it looks like he was actually jogging. He runs up the tunnel. But the camera, the ESPN camera, follows him up the tunnel. And then what happens at the end of the tunnel? He goes fetal. He goes down into the fetal position.
He should have pulled his pants down.
He's got his hand on the concrete. And it looks like he's bawling his eyes out because his season is over.
He ain't bawling his eyes out. Stop making it up.
Season's over. What's happening? I'm thinking, gee, this must be really bad. But then we hear he's being evaluated for a concussion. Wait a minute. The guy hit him at the ankles and it's a concussion? I don't get that.
Stop adding yeast to the story.
Am I not? That's what they said. That's what they said. And then all of a sudden, he's being x-rayed, not for his knee, but his ankle. So he couldn't even figure out, was it his knee or his ankle? He wasn't sure. So it was his ankle. Let's get that x-ray.
It was hurt.
Oh, it was hurt. But then it comes back clean as a whistle. And the next thing I know, Odell is out on the sidelines in street clothes. And I assume they're from the Odell special edition clothes, right?
Skinny.
The ones
the skinny line.
The skinny line.
Over there at Bloomingdale that you be buying.
I know. I bought something.
I know.
I'm guilty. You got me.
Exactly.
I got some.
You could wear it when you're 156 pounds.
Yeah, 170, but
And
that's okay.
if you notice, you see that injury that happened last night? Now you know why Aaron Donald's sitting up on his couch. Now you know why Le'Veon Bell at home sitting on their couch.
And now I know why Odell is all about Odell.
Oh,
it's
stop.
building the brand. And you know what? He should be nominated for an Emmy. Should he not? Was that not Emmy-winning performance? Because I was captivated. I was riveted. I was edge of my seat. It was a convincing performance because I thought his season was over. Have you ever seen anything like that before? You're laughing because you know it was the worst.
You talk about,
it's the kind of thing that when you were a player, you would have just scoffed at and ridiculed.